Do I love it because Farrah Fawcett actually shows her titty? Maybe. But either way, we're going to take a look back. Let's go. All right, today we are checking out 1980s Saturn III, that little somewhat forgotten sci-fi horror movie. Either way, before we go any further, as always, to the trailer.
In an isolated sector of our solar system, suspended in orbit around the sixth planet from our sun, lies a distant outpost, a technologically perfect world where mistakes are impossible, because the impossible is unthinkable. It is called Saturn III. Each year for 22 days, a solar eclipse plunges this outpost into shadow lock. Total darkness. All communication is terminated. This year, the inhabitants of Saturn III are about to experience the unthinkable. A nightmare so perfect, it could only have been made by man.
Captain, Major, this is my partner.
There are only 4 inhabitants on Saturn III. One of them is not human.
No! Don't let him touch me!
Do as you're told. Be still.
Okay, everybody, this motion picture was originally to be directed by John Barry. Now, John Barry was a production designer. He had worked on Star Wars and Superman and Clockwork Orange and Kelly's Heroes, and he wrote the story for this. And he was originally the director, but due to reasons we are not really totally sure about, some say he was fighting with Kirk Douglas, some say he was just over his head, some say he was just out of his league. The movie was taken away from him, and the producer that came in was Stanley Donen, who actually was a big-time director. He had directed movies like Singing in the Rain. He had done stuff like Blame It on Rio, The Pajama Game, Damn Yankees, Funny Face, Charade. Actually, Blame It on Rio came much after Saturn III, now that I think about it. But it was a really cool little flick with, Michael Caine and all that. But, so the movie is really accredited to him. He did the directing. This is his film, I guess you could say. But should always give a little bit of a shout out to John Barry, who wrote the story and was originally the man at the helm. All right, let's go get to this great big monster-sized cast. Okay, playing Alex, we have 70s icon, Farrah Fawcett. Now, come on, man, everybody knows Farrah Fawcett. She was in a ton of stuff. She was in the Cannonball Run. She was in Logan's Run, The Burning Bed, Extremities. She was on TV shows like SWAT, Marcus, LBMD, McLeod. She was on The $6 Million Man with her husband at the time, Lee Majors, because at the time she was Farrah Fawcett Majors. Although I don't think she was Farrah Fawcett Majors by the time she did this. But whatever. She was most always going to be known for, though, as being Jill on Charlie's Angels, that big, iconic TV show of the late 70s. And, come on, man, it was Charlie's Angels. If you didn't know Charlie's Angels, then there was whatever. You missed the whole era. And she was one of the biggest pin-up poster girls of all times. We all know the poster. We've all seen it. Anyway, she's in it. Let's keep going. Okay, playing Adam is Kirk Douglas. I mean, for the love of God, dudes, let's be real. Do we even really need to go there? You're talking the Vikings. You're talking Spartacus. You're talking The Final Countdown, The War Wagon, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's Kirk Douglas. It's 2019. He's still alive today. He's like 4 trillion years old, for Christ's sakes, but he's still going. Kirk Douglas, always got to love him. He's one of the big iconic stars of all time in Hollywood. Let's keep going. Hey, playing Benson is Harvey Keitel. Come on, man. Everybody knows Harvey Keitel. Dude, you know Harvey Keitel. Whether it was Pulp Fiction, whether it was Taxi Driver, whether it was Bad Lieutenant, whether it was Reservoir Dogs, whether it was Mother, Jugs, and Speed, The Two Jakes, The January Man. He was in a ton of movies, man. Great, great actor. Did a lot of stuff. Come on, it's The Wolf, for God's sakes. And if you've seen Pulp Fiction, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Harvey Keitel, gotta love him. Now, that's really all there is to this cast. I mean, there was 3 people in it. I mean, there was one guy playing another pilot early in the movie, but we're not going to even waste our time. So, let's get going. All right, everybody, I'm going to try to make this really short and concise, but it's a little bit convoluted and the story's a little bit wild. In the future of this overcrowded Earth that we have, there are scientific settlements put all over the universe, you know what I mean? And they're doing research and all kinds of goody-goodies. And on Saturn III, the third moon of Saturn, is Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett, and they're doing research. Now, Kirk Douglas is an old-school guy, much older than Farrah Fawcett, and he remembers a time when he lived on Earth. Farrah Fawcett has never been there. She's never lived on planet Earth. She's grown up in space. But they've been doing research together on this facility for several years, and they're in love, and they're a team. Enter Harvey Keitel, and with him, he has a robot named Hector. Hector, one of the Demigod series. He is an advanced robot with actual human brain tissue inside of it. Ooh, the problems ensue. Now, Harvey Keitel was never really meant to come to this planet and to come between these two. See, he kind of stole the place of another pilot. He was deemed unstable and denied the mission, but he found a way to get there anyway. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll see it really early in the motion picture. And when he arrives there, it's his job to program Hector, to make Hector intelligent and come to life by using this thing he puts in the back of his neck, and he can directly mind link and program Hector from his mind into the brain tissue inside the Hector robot. But there's a problem. Harvey Keitel's a psychopath, and he has a big case of the hots for Farrah Fawcett. I mean, come on, who wouldn't at that time? But shit, that's the point. And because of that, Hector winds up with a big case of the hots for Farrah Fawcett, and he turns out to be a psychopath to boot. So, now, how will Kirk Douglas, Farrah Fawcett, and their little dog Sally make out in this whole thing when surrounded by Hector and a crazy Harvey Keitel? All right, everybody, I went and seen this movie in 1980 when I was just a young 10-year-old lad. Now, is this the best, greatest, most amazing science fiction motion picture of all time? No, I'm not going to say that. Are the effects the top of the line, the most dazzling you've ever seen? No, I'm not going to say that. Although they spent a hell of a lot of money on the Hector robot, and it looks really, really, really good, even though the head on it is really, really, really weird through most of the picture because it's never fully done, and it looks like a little camera. It's whatever. But all that nonetheless, this motion picture to me was always fun, it was always exciting, it was always a good little romp. You're talking about a one set piece motion picture. Basically, I mean, you got a couple tunnels, a couple of hallways, you got a workroom, and you got a bedroom. That's the whole motion picture. And in that, you only got 3 actors, a robot, and a dog. And you're stuck there for an hour and a half. That could be deadly. It can be horrible. It can be really, really bad if done wrong. But in this case, they did it right. Or at least enough right so that you can enjoy the motion picture and have a good time with it. As I said before, this is not 2001, this is not Star Wars, and it's not Alien, or it's anything of that caliber or that level by any stretch of the imagination. But for a cute little sci-fi romp mixed with horror and some surprising gore in there on occasion, it's a very well done, very little suspenseful movie that sometimes gets overlooked and sometimes gets forgotten, and probably shouldn't be. So, if you get a chance, check out Saturn 3. It's got monster robots, it's got science fiction, it's got gore, it's got Farrah Fawcett's titty, and that's all you really need to know. So, everybody, God bless. Till the next time when we see each other again, enjoy, peace, and I don't know. Anyway, everybody, take it easy. Have a good one. It was fun. As always, God bless. Peaceful. Bye.